This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather Ho, there's Joe Code Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, November the 22nd, 2022, Canada ended up being the shock winner of the Davis Cup Tennis Men's Championship. It is a team competition for nations within men's tennis. You see the individuals fight for Grand Slam titles, but this is a team event. So the Davis Cup, which was created in the early 1900s, involves two countries going back and forth with their best players and all that. What happens is they name two singles players and a doubles team. The two singles players face off against the other teams too. So it's two singles matches, and then there will be a doubles match. And then what happens is the fourth and fifth matches are singles matches. But what happens is the one singles guy you do faces off against your teammate for singles, and then you play the other guy. Complicated, I know. But yeah, the first to three wins the matchup and all that. So it was huge and all that. So the 2021 Davis Cup was won by Russia. Unfortunately, though, they could not defend their title because of the whole Ukraine brouhaha. Them and Belarus, who were enablers, as the kids call it, were kicked out. So this was the huge thing and all that. So how did Canada get this far? Well, here's what happened. In March 2022, Canada was given the sixth seed based on their Davis Cup ranking. And the qualification happened this way. There would be 26 eligible teams. Well, 26 eligible teams would be 16 teams that were ranked third to 18th in the finals, 8 winning teams from World Group 1, and 2 winning teams from World Group 1 in knockout ties. And 2 wild cards for the finals were selected from 26 nations. So what happened was the 12 winning teams out of the 24, well, Serbia and Great Britain were announced for the finals and all that. So they would be going in to the Davis Cup thing. The other 24 nations would compete for 12 spots in the finals. The 12 winning teams from the playoffs were in the finals, and the 12 losing teams would be at World Group 1. Canada would get their butts handed to them by the Dutch 4-0 on a clay court. So they got a shock loss. The 4 teams ahead of them, France, Spain, Belgium, and US, all won, although Belgium only won 3-2 against Finland. That would have been embarrassing. Canada was the only one of the top 12 teams to lose. So they would have to head well, so the head for things. So yeah, they went through a qualifying stage and all that. So Canada would also get it. Canada would also get in somehow. At 2-1, they got in. When they went to Group B in the knockout stages, or Group B in the group stage to go to the knockout stages, Canada ended up second behind the Spaniards, which was good. They got into the knockout stages. Kind of confusing. And all that. Very confusing. Well, Canada actually was not supposed to be in the group stages and all that because of the fact that they lost to the Dutch. So yeah, Russia didn't have any chance and were banned because of their Ukraine stuff. So Serbia, which was given a wild card for the 2022 finals, actually got in to the Davis Cup group stages. This is actually the first time that the Davis Cup would go through group stages instead of just normal single elimination knockouts. Canada would be given a replacement wild card on St. Patrick's Day 2022. So it was 16 teams that took part in the finals. One finalist from the previous edition, Croatia, because of Russia being suspended. One high-ranked semifinalist from the previous edition, as it was Serbia. Two wildcard teams, Canada and Great Britain, and 12 winners of the qualifying round. Of course, that was the Dutch who beat Canada. Canada was given the 6th seed and all that. Canada would have 4 players. Felix Auger-Aliassime, Vasek Pospisil, Alex Garneau, and Gabriel Diallo. The latter two would be basically their doubles guys. They had to face stiff opposition in the group stages. You know, you had Argentina with Diego Schwartzman, Croatia with Bernard Koric, no Djokovic. Argentina didn't have Del Potro. Italy had Yannick Sinner, Berrettini, and Fognini, looking pretty good. Sweden had the Yermer brothers. Serbia had Sher, Lajovic, and Krsmanovic. Oh no, Croatia. I was talking about Djokovic. He would be for Serbia. My fault. South Korea was there. Spain had Alcaraz, Batista, Gu, Ramos, Vinilas, and Graniors, but no Rafa. Group C, like Australia had Minor and a few other players. Belgium had Goffin. Well, Australia didn't have Kyrgios, so I don't know why. Belgium had Goffin. France had Marninho and Gasquet and Mahout, practically for doubles, but no Tsonga, no Monfils. Weird. Deutschland had Pufnstrup, one of them. Great Britain had Andy Murray, Cameron Norrie, Dan Evans, and some good players, defensive players. Kazakhstan had Kukushkin and Bublik. Holland had Sandschlopp and a few other people. And the Americans had Taylor Fritz, Tommy Paul, Jack Sock, and Rashid Ram. So they went to the group stages and all that. So in the group stages, Canada would face off with Spain, Serbia, and South Korea. Canada beat South Korea 2-1, as it was 2 singles and a doubles match, best of 3. And Canada, Vasek Pospisil beat SC Hong before Kwon Soo-ho. SW Kwon beat Auger-Aliassime. And in the doubles, it was Auger-Aliassime and Pospisil teaming up to take down the South Korean doubles partners. Their next match against Spain, they beat Spain 2-1, as Vasek Pospisil did lose to Bautista Agut. Auger-Aliassime came back to beat Carlos Alcaraz in 3 sets, which is no mean feat. And then Auger-Aliassime and Pospisil were doubles against Graniers and Martinez and beat them in the 3rd set. They did lose to Serbia 2-1, as unfortunately Gabriel Diallo would play singles and lose to Gier. Auger-Aliassime beat Krsmanovic in straight sets, and then unfortunately Garneau and Pospisil couldn't be in doubles because of Pospisil's injury. I think Pospisil was hurt, so the Serbians won that thing, and it was 2-1. Canada would still qualify for the quarterfinals, as they did win 5 out of 9 matches in the 3 rubbers. Serbia only won 4, even though they were 2-1 as well. So Canada, by that narrow thing, got in. They would be joined by Italy and Croatia from Group A, Germany and Australia in Group C, and Holland and the United States in Group D. Look at the Dutch. So anyway, the knockout stages happened. Italy took on the United States in the best of 3. Italy's Lorenzo Sarango beat Francis Tiafoe, and then the Americans tied it up with Taylor Fritz beating Lorenzo Musetti. And then in doubles, it was Boletti and Fognini who beat Tommy Paul and Jack Sock. So that saw the Italians beat the Americans and knock them out. Canada would take on Deutschland, and Chapo lost a tough third set to J.L. Pufnstuf. Felix Auger-Aliassime beat Oscar Aute to force the tie-breaking doubles match. And Germany went with Kirowitz and Tim Putz as their doubles team, but lost the last two sets to Pospisil and Chapo. And Canada won. Australia would crush Holland in the two singles matches as Jordan Thompson and Alex de Minaur beat Griekspoor and Van den Senschel, respectively. They didn't need to play the doubles because Australia won. And Croatia shocked the home country Spain in the quarterfinals as Borna Koric somehow beat Batusta Gu and Marin Cilic. Last minute replacement came in and beat Corona Busta, so Croatia knew what they were doing. They didn't need to play doubles. In the semifinals, Canada took on Italia. Lorenzo Sonego beat Chapo in the third set. However, Auger-Aliassime put a straight sets win over Lorenzo Massetti. And then in doubles, it was Berrettini and Fognini, a very good doubles pairing against Auger-Aliassime and Pospisil. But the Canadians won 7-6, 7-5 to force themselves into the final. Australia would beat Croatia in the other semifinals. Koric beat Kunkinaitis, and then Australia needed to win as Alex de Minaur shocked Marin Cilic, which is no mean feat. And then they went to doubles. It was Purcell and Thompson for Australia, Mekadic and Pavic for Croatia. Some thought Croatia deserved to win. Nope, they lost in the third set, which is ironic because Australia and Croatia actually made it to the semifinals without having to play their doubles rubbers. But nevertheless, in Canada in the final against Australia on this day in 2022, Chapo beat Venus Kunkinaitis 6-2, 6-4, and then it was Auger-Aliassime who beat Alex de Minaur 6-3, 6-4, meaning that they didn't need to play doubles. It would have been Auger-Aliassime and Pospisil versus Purcell and Thompson. But it didn't matter as Canada won the Davis Cup, shocked the world, and gave Canada prime real estate in the world of men's tennis, being the nation's champion. And it was just a shocking defeat of Australia, but Canada did it. They were the 2022 Davis Cup champs, and a moment to savor for Canadian tennis. Dig that. Anyhow, I'm Jeff. I'm going to do